Hindu mythology.
Hello, we aren't. Hello,
What really
hello,
are?
hello,
Hello.
and
Hi.
welcome to this.
No. Wait, I thought we were lo-fi.
Hello, and welcome to this final. I don't know what lo-fi sound like in terms of voice. That was more ASMR.
Hello. I think ASMR is basically
ASMR.
what we're looking for
So I'll just pull the microphone in and just whisper into the microphone then. Hello.
You
and
are
welcome.
a beautiful person. Your feelings are valid. Express yourself. Give in to the violence. Slaughter your enemies.
Wait, you went off track there, Rogue.
We appreciate your customer service, and if you don't mind waiting, we would be so thankful.
You appear to have gone for a hold message there, Ben.
Oh, dang it.
Your call is important to us. Please wait. Law, hello.
forget to like
welcome.
Ordering me around. No, we will constantly.
Welcome to the Final Boss Fight Pub Quiz, or Quiz Night. I'm rebranding and I keep forgetting what the brand is called right now. It's the Final Boss Fight Quiz Night, and we are here for quizzing purposes. My name is John, and I am joined by Ben.
Hello, it's good to see you, and thank you very much for joining us.
By the Rogue Trader Enthusiast.
Howdy. Please like and subscribe.
And by Angel.
Hello.
And we send our best wishes to Angel Mama, who is not feeling very well tonight.
Oh,
It is here in spirit, if nothing else.
Yes, Lord, the final quiz fight boss night. That's the branding we're looking for. As per usual. Hey, Richard.
Hello.
Hope you guys have a fun quiz.
We will, and don't forget to please put all of your answers into the comments. We really appreciate it when you do that.
As per
or in the
standard,
spirit of lo-fi memes, whisper it.
please do not put your answers into the chat until we are marking and have correctly marked the question to give everybody a fighting chance to get the answer right.
So just put them in there.
Doe. I have 4 rounds of fiendishly difficult questions. One of them was chosen by Ben, and that was famous pop culture riddles, which I can say was really difficult to find enough
Yeah, I
of
kind
them
of
to
realised
do a
that one.
round.
Afterwards, I was really trying to be kind, thinking, well, at least that way it's not a case of just random riddles, so maybe people can sort of find a few. And yeah, as I started to research it myself, it's like, wow, there really aren't that many, huh?
I mean, what I will say now, and I don't think it gives much away, is thank you to The Hobbit and Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
They both really are pulling their weight a lot in round 1 this month. So I hope you guys have read The Hobbit and also The Batman.
Yes, no.
This month we also have 3 other rounds that I have put together for you from around the internet and other media sources actually this month. I have a round of Jeopardy style questions for you. I have a round as requested. I have a round of ancient mythology from Egypt.
Oh yeah.
Because apparently when we did ancient Egyptian history, people thought we wanted mythology, so I've now gone mythological with it.
Thank you, John. You're
And
very
I
kind.
have the first of 3 rounds. We're going to have 3 rounds over the course of the next 3 quizzes, titled Beat the Chaser. And for those of you not in the UK or unaware of UK quiz shows, the Chaser is a quiz where the questions are asked to both a member of the public or a celebrity, as well as the Chaser, a quiz pro. And in this case, these questions have all been asked to the Beast from the popular UK TV show The Chaser. And I'm going to see if you can tie with him or get a better score than he does, because I actually know which of these he answered incorrectly.
Are they joining us? Is the Beast joining us?
Sadly, I've not actually reached out to him to find out if he's around.
That would be just hilarious. I'd love to just see that just randomly his face just pops up. It's like, it's my round. Come on.
What you guys don't realize is that he's secretly watching this whole thing.
I don't know who our fans are. I mean,
I
there's
should have
someone
set
out there
that up.
who
I
cares
could-
complimenting my hair.
Could have reached out to someone and done that. I don't know who would have to get in touch with to get the Beast on a Discord call.
I reckon that'd be just a fun one. I don't even know what channel it's on, but just randomly send off to the BBC, even if they're not on the BBC. just a head of it. Hello, we're doing a quiz.
I think it's ITV, so.
Oh, don't worry, the BBC will get to them.
Okay. So.
Why we pay the TV license? They make sure all the letters go to the right places.
That's the mail, Ben. It's the mail, not the TV people.
But the Mail make the TV shows. But I thought they made the newspaper.
That's the other mail people. We don't like those mail people. We do like the postman. Well, I don't know how you feel about your postman, but I quite like my postman.
I haven't got any complaints.
My postman with his black and white cat and various misadventures.
Oh, is he the one who comes by with a helicopter now?
Yeah, that one time he got replaced with a cyborg army of postmen was really weird. I'm sure that was a plot.
I've got to say, when it comes
point.
down to, for the sake of the postman, the mythology on that side of things has got crazy. Just sort of say, but it used to be quiet village, just him, doesn't really need much more than his van. No, now we have a fully automated postal system organizer and all that sort of.
Why do we have a helicopter? Anyway, that's really getting off the topic at this point. And so what I am going to say, Ben,
hello.
We've got a very old round of quiz names at the top of the stream because I've swapped back to using a different program for streaming. What would you like your quiz team name to be?
I will be the question giver.
And we're just going to reset your point score there.
Hey.
Angel.
I liked having a...
Angel Feather.
Agnell Feather. Oh God, typing. And Rogue.
Lo-fi Bandit? Let's go with that. Lo-fi Bandit.
Lo-fi Bandit. I'm loving a little bit there, Lordism. We don't like the sun, but not the real sun. The real sun is cool, but not literally.
Yeah, it's not literally cool. It's very warm. You've never been there, but it is very warm.
Toasty.
I mean, how would you know? You can't touch the sun.
Well, it's
You can
'cause
taste it.
Well, you can
No,
taste
that's
the
the
rainbow. Anyway, you've never been either. You've never been there either, so nah.
Well, there was the... Oh, no. I'm not supposed to talk about
Yeah, we can't talk about that then.
that. But next time, we might not look like we have gravity in the stream.
Let's.
We are not turning the sun off.
There's all sorts
Why
of problems if you
not?
do that. There's a big switch round the back, and you
But
don't.
it's like the Wi-Fi, you turn it off, you turn it back on again, and it works at a better time.
Let's get started with round one on famous pop culture riddles.
All right.
So for the most part, this round, I just have riddles for you to answer. So this one comes from, well, I mean, I couldn't start off without starting with the Riddler. So from Batman Forever, tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead. What am I? Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead. What am I?
I do love that I'm nicknamed the Riddler at the Tokonatsu Festival now. Which is sort of first cosplay I did there, the Riddler. And of course, when it came down to it, I went to the maid cafe that had that going there, beautiful thing going on. And the person who was attending my table did riddles. I beat everyone.
Can you repeat the riddle, please, once more, John?
Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead. What am I?
A helicopter? Sorry, Pete Homestruck.
I did consider when writing this, I probably could have done the entire round of just Edward Nygma's riddles from comics, TV shows, and various films that he has appeared in. But then also that didn't seem like in the spirit of the name of the round. We will return to Edward Nygma throughout this round. But
yeah, once again, I didn't realize how much of a stick I'd really thrown into it until afterwards. And like, yeah, I'm going to make this easy for people because I'll just make it so it's more pop culture-y ones. You know, the chance they've seen it in a film or something like that. And it's wow, there really aren't that many different places.
In The Hobbit, Gollum and Bilbo engage in a match of riddles. Can you answer this one? 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
I just love it though, you know, I might do well in this round for a change.
30...
I'm just glad. I'm glad I know this one.
30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
Plus, I'm not just waiting for the Jeopardy one because we can get some serious points there. I'm going to get up to what is it, 100, 500.
Oh, the daily double. It's all for that one. Now, Ben,
yeah, nothing like it. Oh, yep.
I'm sure you saw that this one was going to come up, so you probably researched this one. There are two doors. One leads to the castle, the other to certain death. You must ask one question to one guard to help you decide which door is the correct one. One guard always lies, and one always tells the truth. How do you choose? I'm asking this to 3 D&D players.
It doesn't mean we know the answer.
Yeah, I suppose the answer isn't kill both guards and open both doors to see which one's the right one.
I will say
No.
my favorite answer
The answer is Fireball.
My absolute favorite answer to this one was just sort of a case of a barbarian who really didn't get the idea.
I love that answer. That feels very Toya to me. Just
Are you just after the question, or are you after the explanation as well?
give the explanation as well. How do you choose? What is the correct way of choosing which door to go through? Heading to the Batman comics, well, I mean, it's the Riddler again, isn't it? I can be cracked, I can be made, I can be told, I can be played. What am I?
Hold on, I'm still writing my answer for 3.
You have an answer, goddamn. I've never been good at that one. Can you repeat? Can you repeat 4?
Repeat 4. I can be cracked, I can be made, I can be told, I can be played. What am I?
That has a nice rhyme to it as well.
It's
It does.
I could be great. I could be. It's like a Mika song. Yeah. Violet sky. Come on, John. You've got the words in front of you. Go for it.
It's not happening.
I will say, going back with the whole the 2 people, I like the fact that it's also out there a 3rd version of that one with 3 people. So one tells the truth, one tells a lie, and one changes in between. And will not. You don't know how many times they do it, and there is a solution to that one as well.
I'm now just trying to come up with one where it's like trying to come up with a version of that where it's the Lutece twins from BioShock Infinite.
Oh
Ooh,
my
yeah.
god, they were the only good part about that game.
There needs to be some sort of way of getting them involved in a D&D game somehow.
I
They
know.
would be very interesting to throw in at one point.
I was actually looking today, as a complete aside to the quiz for a moment, I did see somebody, I think Tanny shared with me on TikTok, a video talking about Brandon Lee Mulligan's new home rule for D&D.
Ooh, emphasis rolls, yeah.
Where he's made basically the emphasis roll, which is basically instead of rolling with advantage or disadvantage, you roll 2d20s, and the idea is it's for a roll that's either going to go very well or very poorly, and there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
And basically you roll 2d20s and you take whichever is the furthest away from 10.
Yep. I've heard about this one. I love the idea. I don't know if everyone here has watched the D&D movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. But there are certainly some moments in there which feel like they have the emphasis roll sort of dynamic played out.
Law says, I'd say just don't bother going through either door.
Yeah. Oh, come on, please.
And just annoy them for ages until they beg you to go through the correct one.
Come on, please. We've got your baby brother back there and everything. Come on.
Question 5. When rolling the dice to play a game of Jumanji, this riddle was a clue to survival. Don't be fooled, it isn't thunder. Staying put would be a blunder. What was the threat that emerged from the board after that clue?
That is single-handedly one of my favourite scenes in that film.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled, it isn't thunder. Staying put would be a blunder.
Those were some good riddles in that movie, too.
I really should have possibly looked up one from the cartoon series as well. Just thinking about it now.
Man, the 90s
You
came
were
out with
from
so
young,
many
yeah.
just arbitrary animated shows for movies, didn't they?
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, Jumanji was at
Jumanji.
least one that like made sense for them to come out with a cartoon series of. It was at least marginally aimed at kids or family-friendly film, but like Beetlejuice and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Starship Troopers. Like, what business did Starship Troopers have becoming a kids' TV show?
There was a Starship. There was a
They
Starship.
did one
Troopers
for
TV
Men
show?
in Black and Ghostbusters. Actually, they did 2 for Ghostbusters.
Like those two make sense though. I'm sorry, Robert Heinlein does not deserve a kids show. Like, I've seen like that guy was fucking messed up. Like H.P. Lovecraft levels of weird. And like,
And then, so I do have to admit, one of the ones that I remember and enjoyed the most was the animated series based on the American Godzilla movie that was set in New York. That was surprisingly good, and I don't even know how Atlantis got involved because the movie established that he was like a nuclear result in France, but like all of a sudden Atlantis is in it, and it's like, what the fuck even happened? Like, is this based on the movie, or did they just like the design of the like what?
Usually,
But it was
when
still
it came down
good.
to, there is literally no more behind. We like the look of this. We're going to now take this and plaster it everywhere. And then they will
Pretty
run out of
much.
storyline. It's a case of, we need to put something else in here to make this work. Atlantis? Atlantis! Yeah.
Moving on to question 6. This is the only one that's not solve the riddle for this round, and that is to say, what is the problem with this riddle from Alice in Wonderland? Why is a raven like a writing desk? What is the problem with this riddle from Alice in Wonderland? Why is a raven like a writing desk?
As in the problem which they place in the story?
There is an issue with it. I'm not going to say what it is. Like, it is not a... Like, actually, the problem is also in the story, but yeah, there is a problem with that riddle.
I didn't even know there. Oh God.
I'm glad
I'm going to place an answer here, but it is something which I'll bring up because there is some interest in that as well, if I am right in thinking what answer you've put down. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Question 7. In the recent The Batman movie, Riddle popped this question to Batman. What does a liar do when he's dead? What does a liar do when he is dead?
Oh god, this might be the first one which actually gets me.
God, I didn't see that movie, so now I'm just gonna have to like try and actually figure it out.
Well,
Oh, I don't remember this bit.
what does a liar do when he's dead? You don't need to have seen the film to know the answer to the riddle. Just answer the riddle.
Well, yeah, but I've seen all the other films, so I know the answer to those
You just need to be the Batman now.
Oh, just the greatest detective. Okay.
Yeah, you know, nothing big. You don't need any of the martial arts training or anything.
That's the bit I've got.
Well, that's your problem.
So, can we have the question again, please?
What does a liar do when he's dead? A liar. Liar.
Lion would be a lot more interesting. What does a lion do when it's dead? Oh,
Doesn't fit
life.
Doesn't fit the riddle structure, really. It's just problematic.
Oh, that's the thing. I can't remember what the answer is, and I'm trying desperately to think what kind of answer the Riddler would place it, because they're very good on the way that they designed the riddles in that one as well. I've got to give them a lot of credit on that.
It's definitely a Riddler answer.
This round's gonna destroy me.
Oh, good, because the ancient mythology of Egypt is very easy for everyone, I'm sure.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah. Question 8. I don't know if I really class this as a riddle. It's a brain teaser, but my research on riddles kept bringing this one up. So here's this one from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh.
You have a 5-gallon jug and a 3-gallon jug. You have to fill one of them with exactly 4 gallons of water to prevent a bomb going off. How do you do this?
Let's see. So...
The answer that I have written down is 4 lines of paper. It's not a short answer, so we've got some time here to discuss other 90s cartoons, if we wish. One thing I have seen looking back on the old 90s, 80s and 90s cartoons is there was a lot of anthropomorphic animals. I can tell that people are thinking, because there's no answers to that.
We've got no more containers. It's just the 3 and a 5.
You've just got a 3 and a 5. You need 4. You've got unlimited water. You've got all the water you need. But you need exactly 4 gallons. And you can get it. It is doable.
It is, because I remember actually looking it up because it annoyed the hell out of me because they give like half the answer in the movie. So I know like the last few steps. I've just got to remember what the first few steps were because I Googled it because I was all like, well, how do you get to that point?
And it's going to be the 4 liters of water has to be in one of the 3 and the 5 containers.
Well, it has to be in the 5-gallon container because a 3-gallon container isn't going to hold 4 gallons.
I was just checking in case there was a third container that was unmeasured.
There is not an unmeasured third container.
We go.
You literally have those 2. So yes, as Angel points out, your final answer's probably going to be in the 5-gallon jug, because the 3-gallon jug ain't gonna cut it.
Okay, I've done it.
Hold on, I'm still working.
So back to number 7.
What does a liar do when he's dead?
Oh god, it is one of
The
problem is I have an answer which I'll throw down, but I don't think it's the actual answer because it's not smart enough to be Riddler smart. It's more like Joker pretending to be the Riddler.
The problem I have with reading that one is I so want to just read out the answer afterwards. Like, it's not been a problem with most of the rest of the riddles, but I don't know why that one, the answer just sort of flows so nicely after it. Yeah, Razor's Roughnecks, by the way, was the Starship Troopers cartoon series. It was a CG cartoon series that followed the group as they kept fighting the bugs. It didn't make any sense for what was definitely not a kid's film, based on definitely not a kid's book. Everybody ready for question 9?
Not yet.
Do I have to keep making up time?
Oh, I see, yeah.
Sorry, I think I've got it. I'm just...
Sorry.
How you doing, Rogue?
I think I've got it. 8.
Do you want to talk about DuckTales a little bit while we wait, or?
I'm
trying to-
I want to write it down.
I'll tell you, I'll do something else to assist the situation. Because
Oh, here we go.
Day at work, so
Let's do a stretch.
stretch in there as well. Get those bones cracking and back into place.
Oh yeah, that feels
Finally, I
good.
could get the head one done as well, just to get the brain back. Okay. Trying to think
Okay, I
what
think I
dead
got it.
bodies
Okay.
do.
I think I'm going to need to
Right.
do. I think I'm going to need to do a round at some point soon on Magic the Gathering
That'd be
lore.
interesting.
Well, I've just started, like, I love the lore of Magic the Gathering. The lore is a lot more interesting than the game to me. I love the game. The game is really good. I don't have anyone I play it with, and I don't play it often enough, and I'm not that good. But
There.
the storyline of it,
yeah.
the
Take a deck
storyline
with
of
you
it
to
is
the MCM,
amazing.
we'll play there.
I have so many of the... where did I put those folders? I have so many folders of the... When they did the D&D crossover, I tried to collect so much of that set. I've just started looking... They've just released March of the Machine, which is the newest set they're doing, and they're doing a massive lore reboot. And like they're invading every realm and plane of existence. It's interesting. Anyway, question 9. Back in the dark with Gollum and Bilbo. This thing all things devours. Birds, beast, trees, and flowers. Gnaws iron, bites steel. Grinds hard stones to meal. Slays king, ruins towns, and beats mountain down. What am I?
Oh, this is a classic. I love this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this one at least.
It's a tricky divorce.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
Like, at least there are a couple ones where it's like I've seen the movie and I've watched and I've read the book often enough that I can answer these confidently. I had no idea for answer 6, so that's a blank. And I'm not confident in 8, but I think I have it, if I did my math right.
Yeah, I think I have 3 points this round. The rest,
Well,
I know.
let's see how you do with question 10 then, because apparently question 9 was an easier answer than the maths puzzle we set in the middle of the round. Question 10 is from the Da Vinci Code. I was stretching at this point.
Yeah, apparently.
In London lies a knight, a pope interred, his labour's fruit a holy wrath incurred. You seek the orb that ought to be on his tomb. It speaks of rosy flesh and seeded womb.
That's not a riddle. What the fuck is that?
It's a rhyme, apparently.
Apparently.
I'm not even sure what kind of answer is after that.
In London lies a knight, a pope interred, his labour's fruit a holy wrath incurred. You seek the orb that ought be on his tomb. It speaks of rosy flesh and seeded womb. So the thing you are looking for is a orb that ought be on the tomb of the knight, the pope interred. A pope interred. Probably, if you've read the Da Vinci Code and remember it really well, you'll get this one, and if you don't, we'll answer it in a minute, and you'll find out, and you'll go, oh.
Well, I think this is going to be another one which I might not get, but we'll see.
But I'm pretty sure we were still living in the States when I read it, so...
Oh my god, it's been a long time.
It was a very long time when I read it.
Law might have some more fun with this one, as apparently they have discovered a fondness for drinking rum and listening to people struggle to answer questions.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, to be honest. It's a fun one.
Are you ready for some answers to these riddles? Would you like to hear any of the riddles a second time? Or fourth, fifth?
I think when it comes down to it, I've got the best as I've got. I don't know the rest of you.
I'll take that as a yes.
Stunning silence is a bit worrying.
Is everybody still here?
No.
Oh. Has anyone ever been here?
Lo-Fi Bandit is not here right now. Please try again later. Beep.
Okay. Ben.
Yeah?
Riddle me this. Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead.
A match.
Correct.
Oh, of course. Oh.
See,
Yeah,
there's
so I got...
the
I
other
wouldn't have
answer to
had.
that. There's the other feeling to this is, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I went with hair because it's just like, all right, cool. It could be someone who dyed their hair. Because like in some movies, the Riddler has black hair, but famously Jim Carrey's hair was bright red.
I can see your logic there.
Rogue. 30 white horses on a red hill. First they champ, then they stamp, then they stand still.
Teeth?
It is teeth.
But the Gollum, he only has 9.
Angel. There are 2 doors. How do you work out which one leads to certain doom and the one that you should take?
You ask both guards, which door would the other guard tell me to use? because the one that tells the truth is going to tell you what the lying guard is going to say, which is going to be the lie. And the lying guard is going to lie and say the truth teller would tell you the truth, but he's going to lie what the truth is, so he's going to lie as well. So both their answers would technically be a lie. So the door that they don't pick is the door you should go through.
Correct.
Ooh.
If you only get one in the riddle, you only get one answer, but regardless, whichever one you ask,
yeah, you're going to get the
as
same
you
response.
say, you're going to get the same response. They're both going to pick the door that leads to certain doom. You do the opposite door.
Yep.
I do love as well. You got that one from the Labyrinth, right?
That is from
Yeah.
Labyrinth, yeah.
The funniest thing about that one is technically you can tell that riddle and that competition is rigged, and
Yeah.
technically it would mean that neither or both of the doors are dangerous. Just for the sake that when it came down to it, as they're explaining the riddle, they switch between the 4 heads of the puppet, which would mean that they've either been telling part of it's been told as a lie, or part of it's not. And the way that it looks is because it negates the entire thing.
Well, they do, because they say specifically, one of us always tells the truth and one of us always lies. But there's 4 of them, so...
I get the whole concept that 2 of the heads are meant to be one entity and 2 of the heads are meant to be another entity for fantasy reasons. But even them, for the amount of jumping back and forth, it's still one of them is lying.
One of them
about the
isn't
riddle.
telling you the truth about what is on the other side of the door.
Technically,
Yeah.
this should be the easiest riddle to figure out, because if one of them is, it's exactly like he says, one of them is and one of them isn't. One of them should be explaining the situation, and the other one would be staying silent.
If you think about it, she was actually right. Because she wasn't sent to certain doom, she was sent to the oubliette. And who was waiting at the bottom of the oubliette?
It's true, but my debate is that I believe when it comes down to that thing, Bo will never find out that both results are negative. Maybe
Not necessarily,
self-doom.
because while she's falling, the hands ask her, do you want to go up or down? If she had said up, she could have kept going. She says, well, I'm pointed that way, so I might as well go down. And the hands laugh at her because she gave them the wrong answer.
Law wants to be the Goblin Queen?
Who would go through any door? Just tell him if he gives your brother back to your parents, you'll be the Goblin Queen. Win-win.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, honestly, it's fucking Bowie. I would have been all like, yeah, no, just send my brother back. You didn't need the whole kidnapping plot, my dude. Just buy me dinner. We're good. Oh my god.
I mean, that film, like the antagonist of that film is David Bowie and his package that shows up in the scene 5 minutes before him.
I know. Oh my god.
I think I love the other side of it. I came across this interesting take on it, but actually, it's the entire movie isn't what it seems. It's not a fantasy thing at all. It's a girl who's never explored a particular type coming into sexual awakening and trying to figure it out with the only information which she's had, which is all in fantasy.
Oh, I've seen that theory and I think it's stupid. Just enjoy it for a cheesy fantasy movie with David Bowie and his big tube sock.
Ben,
Yes.
we come back to you for the next Riddler question, apparently. I don't know if I've set them up I have set them up exactly so that you're going to answer all of them. But I can be cracked, I can be made, I can be told, I can be played. What am I?
A joke.
Correct.
What?
I can be cracked, I can be made, I can be told, I can be played. It's
Yeah,
a
you can
joke.
crack a joke.
Oh,
You can crack a joke, you can tell a joke, you can play a joke.
You can make a
I
joke.
thought it was
Okay.
music.
Can I present my answer and my thought process?
Yes.
Please.
Because my answer was mystery.
Ooh.
You can
Okay.
crack a mystery.
You can crack a mystery. You can play a mystery, because they're like on TV and shit. You can make a mystery, which is where they come from, and you tell a mystery by telling the story.
The only thing I think they're aiming for is actual phrases, which is usually the way that sort of works. But I get exactly where your thought pattern's coming from.
This was also in a war that Riddler was having with the Joker at the time, where he was pointing out the ineptness of jokes compared to riddles.
But yeah,
fair.
there's always that tenor phrase thing, isn't it?
Can I have half a point for my thought process? I tried.
You can have an "I tried" for your thought process.
Oh well.
It's not worth any points in the game, but it's like it's a spiritual pat on the head. You tried.
Well, my other answers were egg and song, but they didn't fit one of the categories. So.
Yeah, I went with music, but I realised that doesn't fit either.
Rogue.
So you can't tell music, sadly.
Rogue. Don't be a fool, it isn't thunder. Staying put would be a blunder.
You would want to avoid that stampede.
You would want to avoid the stampede. Don't stand still for stampedes. They won't care.
And please, for the love of God, run at 45 to 30 degrees. Do not run at 90 because you're going to get
Prometheus run.
You need to avoid them.
They learned from the Prometheus school of running away from me.
Angel.
I mixed that up with the other riddle with the earthquake at the end. I fucked that up.
Angel, what is the problem with the riddle? Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I have no idea. I mean, I've never heard an answer to the riddle. That's the only thing I can think of.
That is the right answer.
Technically,
there isn't an answer.
It's the unsolvable riddle. But best part is, there have been plenty of people. There are numerous people who have come up with actual solutions to the unsolvable riddle. By its definition, and it's the way it was designed to be, it is meant to be an unsolvable riddle.
Lewis Carroll said there isn't an answer. It is entirely in there to highlight that the Mad Hatter is mad.
Bonkers. Yeah, I mean, it's the Mad Hatter giving the riddle. If that's not the biggest indication that it's bubkiss.
Very, very unbelievable.
Lewis Carroll said the closest he ever gave to giving an answer to it was along the lines of, you don't mix the two of them up and you never put one in front of the other or something. I can't remember exactly what his answer was, but it was to do with never put one front to back, and spelling never like raven backwards. I know that somebody else mentioned that Edgar Allan Poe did his best writing on one.
I think one of my favourite is, for the sake of the simplest one, is that they both have legs, they both have feathers, they both have...
Yeah.
And once again, there are numerous ways to think about it, and it's more a case of, once again, trying to think in the manner of the Mad Hatter is the real trick. Is more a case of, if you ever come up with a solution, it shouldn't make sense to regular people.
Yeah, no.
Otherwise, it really isn't the Mad Hatters.
You've not done your job if you come up with an answer that makes sense. Ben.
Exactly.
So the idea that you can't write with a raven feather wouldn't be valid.
Actually, you can write with a raven feather.
I don't think it had wide enough hollows in the quills.
Don't get me wrong, it's incredibly difficult, and you have to do a lot of adjustment when it comes down to the ink. But I have seen that there was another video, once again, like Mythbuster-y kind of deal, and on this riddle, someone went around to prove, no, you can write with it.
Well, I can tell you for a fact you can't write with a feather from a writing desk. Like, if you manage to find a writing desk that has feathers in the wild, you can't take the feathers away and write with them. Ben, we come back to you for the final Riddler question. What does a liar do when he's dead?
I must say, this is one where I think you might have got me, because I can't remember what the answer is in the film, so I've just gone for, he keeps on lying. because he's going to be permanently lying.
That is very close to the actual answer. Rogue.
The only thing I could think of was tells no secrets and tells no lies.
Angel.
I put keeps lying as well, because it's the only thing I could think of. Because he's lying down.
You can both have half a point for that. The correct answer is, what does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still.
Oh,
Oh.
so close. Just,
that's
as you say, just twisted round, that's all.
It's a specific wording, okay.
Okay, this is the one which I'm very curious to hear people's responses on this one.
I feel like you should give them both full points.
You
right?
think they
'Cause
should
got
get
the
full
sentiment
points?
of-
Okay.
I think that they should. They get the
Rogue
sentiment
has
of
given
it.
you the other half of that point.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
I mean, I didn't get the point, so
He's
I'm only screwing myself.
he's apparently allowed to, because it means you guys are further ahead than he is. Rogue.
Oh no.
You have
this one I'm curious to hear the responses.
You
on
have a
this one.
5-gallon jug and a 3-gallon jug and a bomb that's going to go off if you don't put exactly 4 gallons of water on top of it. Show
Okay.
me you're working.
So the main thing is that there's a displacement difference between 5 and 3, but the problem is that you need to be able to get that displacement twice. So first you fill the 5-gallon jug.
Yep.
You then you use that and then pour water into the 3-gallon jug until the 3-gallon jug is full, at which point you have exactly 2 gallons left in the 5-gallon jug.
Correct.
You then empty the 3-gallon jug.
Yep.
You pour the contents of the 2-gallon jug into the 5-gallon jug into the 3-gallon jug. You
Yep.
then put the 3-gallon jug with the water inside it inside the 5-gallon jug and pour water around it carefully. Because the 5 gallons minus the 3 gallons that are in the jug inside creates a 2-gallon displacement there. You can then pull the 3-gallon jug out and then pour its contents into the 5-gallon jug, which leaves you with 4 gallons in that jug, which you can then put directly on top of the bomb.
Did I miss something?
Did
I don't know what he's talking about with water displacement.
yeah, that ain't the answer that's written down.
It'll work though.
So you've got to the point where you've got 2 gallons in the 3-gallon jug. You put that in the 5. You've now got your 3-gallon jug with 2 gallons in it in the 5-gallon jug.
Yeah, and because the jug, well, this is assuming the jugs can contain each other, because you never said that they couldn't. But if you've got something that's a 3 litre
they're
volume,
jugs.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
if you got something that's a 3 litre volume inside of something that's a 5 litre volume, then and you are only filling the volume
But they're
around
they're
that 3 litre
jugs. That's not how that works. Everybody knows you can't put one jug into another jug. Have you ever seen a jug?
To be fair, even if you did, the actual volume of the jug itself would take away from the 4 gallons.
Yeah, because you've still got a 3-gallon jug.
Yeah, but 5 minus 3 is 2. Anyway, that's as close as I got to it. Because I got
It's an
to
interesting
the
response,
first
I gotta
part,
say though.
and then I was just like, well, where the fuck do you keep that 2 litres then? But
Angel.
Pour it out, bonehead. Okay, so you start with the 5-gallon jug and you fill it completely.
Yep,
And then you put 3 of those gallons into the 3-gallon jug.
correct.
That leaves you with 2 gallons in the 5-gallon jug.
You are correct.
Now you empty the 3-gallon jug, so there's nothing in the 3-gallon jug.
Yep.
You pour the 2 gallons into the 3-gallon jug, so you now have an empty 5-gallon jug and a full 3-gallon jug. And a 2 in the 3-gallon jug.
Correct.
You fill the 5-gallon jug completely, and then pour out 1 gallon into the 3-gallon jug, which fills it completely. You now have 4 gallons in the 5-gallon jug.
oh shit!
Correct.
Yes.
It's a
I have a
math
different way
problem.
to get to the same solution. Okay,
Well,
I have a different
There's a
way which still does the trick though.
Jennifer's
There
got to
is
the
a way to-
answer that's in the film.
There's a
Okay.
second way to do it that's, I think I know what method you're talking about, Ben, and it's kind of a backwards math, but it gets you to the same answer.
So Ben, what's your answer?
I fill the 3-gallon jug, pour it into the 5.
Okay.
Then refill the 3 gallon. Pour that into the 5, leaves 1 gallon in the 3. You then pour out the 5 gallons, pour the 1 into the 5, fill the 3, pour that in, you get 4 gallons.
I mean, that would work.
Yeah.
It's not the one from the film, but
It's not the one from the film, but I'll give you the point because it does work. I'm assuming Law, no. Law's answer is just put the 5-gallon jug on the bomb and then slowly fill it up until the bomb stops going.
Because I can't remember
No,
what
because-
film is this from?
This is Die Hard with a
Vengeance.
Vengeance. And Jeremy Irons' character, whose name I cannot remember, which is going to piss me off now, because he's the brother of Hans Gruber from the first one. Jeremy Irons' character says very specifically in the call, the bomb's weight scale is very specific. So they can't be off by even a little bit. So they can't even touch the scale until they're absolutely positive they have 4 gallons, because if they're even a little bit off, the bomb will go off.
That's a fair response to that.
So they did explain why they couldn't do that in the movie, but that is a clever suggestion.
If it requires math, I'm too tired to stay alive.
I'd say the tricky sort of thing, if it has like a 3-second countdown from the moment they've been placed down before it actually takes the weight, or something like that. That would be how I would make that bomb.
And it does. It does. It has there's a whole minute where it like processes, and they're like, "Oh shit, did we make it in time?"
Oh god.
Angel.
Yeah.
This thing all things devours. Beasts, birds, beasts, trees, flowers. Gnaws iron, bites steel, grinds hard stones to meal. Slays kings, ruins town, and beats mountain down.
Time.
Time is the correct answer.
Thor, leave your foot alone. Sorry,
Thor.
he gets allergies, and so he has like this sore on his paw, but he keeps licking it and making it bleed.
Huh.
Fair enough.
Ben.
Aha.
Amongst the other puzzles in the Da Vinci Code, in London lies a knight, a pope interred, his labour's fruit, a holy wrath incurred. You seek the orb that ought to be on his tomb, it speaks of rosy flesh and seeded womb.
I'm going to say it's the apple.
You are correct.
Oh, thank God, because that's what I put too, and I couldn't remember if it was right or not.
So the correct answer is an apple. Sir Isaac Newton, a knight, is buried in London. His work upset the church, and Alexander Pope, a pope, spoke at his funeral. There are orbs, the planets, on Newton's tomb. The missing orb on his tomb is an apple, because there is no apple depicted on his tomb, but it is an important orb for Newton himself. Plus, apples are rosy and have seeds in the centre.
See, I went through that completely ass backwards, and I was thinking about how, like, the ultimate spoilers, the ultimate answer of the Da Vinci Code is that the Holy Grail is supposed to be Mary Magdalene's womb. And so you find out that, like, the child of Jesus is there and it's real, and it becomes really, it gets really bizarre at the end. And so I was thinking from the womb and the orb and the fruit, and my brain just went, maybe it's the apple and Eve, and I don't know where my brain was going, but I guess I got the right answer.
Well, you got somewhere in the end. No, Anastasia.
No,
I'm
sadly
so
not.
annoyed. I'm so annoyed. I had apple, and I thought that's too obvious.
Honestly, the only reason I even got it was because I could remember as much of the plot as I did.
The question giver. How many points did you score that round?
Thanks to Rogue Trader, I got 10.
Yay!
Damn.
Angel Feather.
Thanks to Rogue Trader, I got 8.
Well, we should probably say actually Lo-Fi Bandit.
The Lo-Fi Bandit.
4.
I wonder who's picking next month's quiz.
Well, I don't know.
We
I'm
still
pretty
have
sure I'm
30
gonna fuck
questions
up on
to go
Egyptian
through.
mythology and
It's
Shakespeare.
all still to play for as we enter Jeopardy round.
I still think my solution for 8 was fine. I mean, it's not, because you're right. Jugs do have their own displacement, but if the jugs themselves had no volume for their own glass, it'd be perfectly valid maths.
But again, you're stuck with the concept that you're trying to put a jug which has a tiny opening into another jug which has a tiny opening. It doesn't work.
The other side of things, the jugs themselves have
I
mass.
misremembered the question. I heard container. So I just had this visual of buckets.
We have a round now on Jeopardy questions. I don't have any Jeopardy theme tune because we're not allowed to play it, and we're going to stick with the lo-fi tunes that hopefully won't get muted.
That would be very interesting.
Oh wait, no, that's not right. That's countdown.
Yeah, that's countdown. Close enough.
Now we just need you to do your Alan Trebek.
I don't know how to do an Alan Trebek impression.
I'm a Richard Whiteley guy myself.
A wrong quiz show.
I was going to say it's a shame.
I keep making kissing noises at my dog, and every time I make a kiss noise, she sticks out her tongue.
So, question 1.
I didn't know your dog was French.
Question 1. In a song from Chicago, we're told to give 'em the old this title. Give 'em an act with lots of flash in it.
You know how
Sorry,
hard it is to not sing this?
Okay, that was really confusing. Can you say that again?
In a song from Chicago, we're told them to give 'em the old this title. Give 'em an act with a lot of flash in it.
Are we having to do this in the style of Jeopardy, so everything has to be answered in the style of the question?
Sure. That's not how I have the answers written down, but...
I thought that was the whole point of the Jeopardy round. Okay, so basically when you say this title, that's like the blank, and that's where the answer needs to be? Okay, stay blank next time, because that was super confusing.
No, because that's how they said it on Jeopardy.
Can you repeat the question again? I just need to remember one little bit there.
In a song from Chicago, we're told them to give 'em the old this title. Give 'em an act with lots of flash in it.
You know how hard it is when you say those lyrics to not sing along?
You can sing along when we do the answers, Rogue.
Yay! Well, okay, it's questionable about whether or not I can do the singing, but... No.
You can sing along regardless.
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
But
I've never seen Chicago, so...
What?
This Caribbean nation is named because it reminded Spanish sailors of a province back home in Spain. This Caribbean nation was named because it reminded Spanish sailors of a province back home in Spain.
Well, that's completely got me.
Yeah.
I don't know much
I
about
don't
the
know if
Caribbean.
that's the actual origin of that island's name, but I'll go with it. Can you let these two struggle for a second? I need to go get some ice.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll be struggling anyway.
This Caribbean nation was named because it reminded Spanish sailors of a province back home in Spain.
Wait, you said nation. Oh, I need to get back and change my answer.
No, go.
Anastasia says, go Ben.
Right, thank you for the support.
Anastasia.
If you know any of the answers, please especially for this one, put them into the comments.
Are you ready for question 3?
No, but do it anyway. Oh, hang on. No. Have we got Lo-Fi Bandit back?
Go ahead.
The smallest of the Great Lakes, it has a surface area of about 7,500 square miles. The smallest of the Great Lakes, it has a surface area of about 7,500 square miles.
Well, I guess that means it's not gonna be Lake Superior. Fuck, I lived in America and I don't even know this answer.
I mean,
Lake Inferior.
you can probably tell that Lake Superior isn't the smallest one. Like, it's got a real itself complex.
No, geography isn't coming back into my head. I don't even know whether we actually did that in geography. I mean, that's a while back, but...
Do you want to try for question 4?
Yeah, sure. I'll just put something in here.
Am I mucking up Jennifer's connection? Jennifer, are you connected okay?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, no problem. Apparently Anastasia.
Is it not coming through, or...?
No, they're coming through fine. I think Angel Mum is just checking that she's not knocked Angel Spawn off of the network. Look for Aretha, Ray, James Brown, Cab Calloway, and of course Twiggy and Frank Oz in this 1980 film comedy.
I'm sorry, who all?
Look for Aretha, Ray, James Brown, Cab Calloway, and of course Twiggy and Frank Oz in this 1980 film comedy.
Oh my god.
Repeat that list again?
Aretha, Ray, James Brown, Cab Calloway, and of course Twiggy and Frank Oz. I don't know why of course Twiggy. I'm not sure why of course Twiggy.
Not sure. Very hard to tell. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't feel left out because of the last one.
But they're not. It's of course Twiggy and Frank Oz.
But the loss of the... they're just very self-conscious. They don't like to be anywhere near the end of the
And of course
list.
Twiggy!
Frank
And Frank Oz.
Frank Oz is trying desperately to, no.
I'm over here.
So, alright, fine, I'll go at the end of the list. Are you happy with that, Twiggy?
The first capital of California following American occupation in 1846 was this city, today the capital of Silicon Valley. The first capital of California following American occupation in 1846 was this city, today the capital of Silicon Valley.
I have a lot of fans in America, but that doesn't help me. No, this facial expression didn't help either.
Try another.
Let's see. Oh, God.
I won't lie, for number 2, John, you've caused me significant mental pain. Mostly because when you first time I heard Ireland, I heard Ireland the first time, which was easy. But the problem is that you actually said nation, and there are 2 nations on the island, neither of which would sound right. Which means it's just like, oh no, what
dear.
sounds vaguely like a province of Spain.
Question 6. Related to the word respect is this word for a delay that brings relief. Related to the word respect is this word for a delay that brings relief.
And this is question 6?
This is question 6.
Okay.
Do you want me to
Which
repeat
was
question 5?
Yes, please.
I don't know. Which one was the Twiggy one?
4.
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to have a repeat of that again, are we?
No, I'm not. I'm just asking.
Do we want
Okay.
question 5 again? Do you
Yes,
have an
please.
answer for that? That's the first capital of California following American occupation in 1846 was this city, today the capital of Silicon Valley. Wrong spelling of silicon. Anastasia.
No. Okay, and now question 6 again, please.
Related to the word respect is this word for a delay that brings relief. Related to the word respect is this word for a delay that brings relief. I see. I know what you're doing. Law says Nepal. Are you ready for question 7?
No,
Sure.
but do it anyway.
At their largest, the Japanese giant type of this crustacean can measure over 12 feet across, including the legs. At their largest, the Japanese giant type of this crustacean can measure over 12 feet across, including the legs. At their largest, the Japanese giant type of this crustacean can measure over 12 feet across, including the legs. Otherwise known as a giant amount of nope. Whole lot of nope.
The inspiration behind Barney the dinosaur.
Yes.
Just the reaction,
What?
not anything else.
Wait, I liked Barney the dinosaur. What's wrong with Barney?
Oh, I got the best reaction there. Someone's got to clip that. Someone has to clip that. What? No.
Question 8.
Don't ruin Barney for me.
Question 8. In the Grimm's version, this creature becomes a prince not from a kiss, but when he's thrown against the wall. In the Grimm's version, this creature becomes a prince not from a kiss, but when he's thrown against the wall.
I mean, I know some people like it rough, but
Oh, that's a whole new version. Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. Do you want the name of the fairy tale or the creature?
I'm going to go with yes, I have both written down.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question.
I will
Basically,
accept either.
Yes, either answer.
Okay.
I have both written down.
speaking of fairy tales, have any of you finished watching Dimension 20 Never After? That was their
No.
fairy tale,
That-
their fairy tale horror season.
That would beg the beginning question of, have any of you started watching?
Well, I assumed you all had the good taste to be watching it.
You'd be wrong.
That's debatable up until we know what media we're actually talking about.
It's Dimension 20. You know, like actual play.
Right.
The Dropout actual play with Bentley the Mulligan and all that good stuff.
Gotcha.
Literally finished this week. Fantastic series involving, because who have they got? They've got Little Red Riding Hood. They've got Mother Goose. They've got Sleeping Beauty, Puss in Boots, Pinocchio, and the Frog Prince. All in there.
How much influence from Shrek did they have?
None, because, well, hopefully none. Because, oh boy.
So I was just wondering whether, because I haven't seen any of that, or just half what it, or just expecting. The moment you say Puss in Boots, I am expecting Puss in Boots.
Oh, actually, have you guys watched Puss in Boots 2 yet? Because that film was so damn good.
I haven't yet. Seen clips because too many people loved it and ended up getting to me, so I've seen a lot of spoiler bits, and I've fallen in love with characters even though I've only watched them from clips.
Oh, I
love the style, I love the way that it looks and all this sort of it. It's all those. I'm excited to see it, even though I'm pretty sure I know the majority of the story now from the clips alone, but still, it's not so much the story as how they tell it.
There's some amazing stuff in that story.
The clips of just the clips of Lupo are fucking amazing.
Question 9. When faced with danger, certain ducks, snakes, and mammals do this, also called thanatosis. When faced with danger, certain ducks, snakes, and mammals do this, also called thanatosis.
They shit themselves and run away.
I mean, certain ducks, snakes, and mammals do that too.
And that's called fartatotis. The lesser known of the Greek gods.
Lore says, wield a giant axe and declare war?
Sorry,
that's creatosis.
Can you repeat the question, John?
When faced with danger, certain ducks, snakes, and mammals do this, also called thanatosis. Anastasia says, "That's me."
And don't ask where the axe comes from.
But I want to buy one. Please ask. I want to know.
It's the same place the hammer goes.
It's always one of those things. That is, if I could ever have an ability, it's just to call a weapon when you want it. Just literally have a weapon either appear or disappear at will. Because I just think that'd be just, you're waiting for the day to say, "Hey, you, give us your money." Shing.
I mean, that is very much one of the reasons I want that to reference the RP campaign, because everyone here is there. Why I'm so happy Mason could do that with his giant sword. Because I could have left my sword at the pub and summoned it, which would be amazing.
I once played in a game. One of my friends who was an insane GM and used to write for video games, and now I think writes for video games for a different company. Used to run a regular role-playing game where it was called. It started off being called Ninjas, Ninjas, Ninjas. But by the end of him homebrewing it enough, it became known as noun, 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 related to whatever setting he wanted it set in. And it was a really simple system where you had 2 dice that you rolled, and you had one ability, and the one ability you had, you had one ability that would always work. Regardless of what the setting was, regardless of what the system was, you could pick one power that your character had that worked within the realm of that setting. And one of the characters, one person once played a basketball who had the Master of Disguise ability. They were a basketball, who could master of disguise any disguise and get into anywhere, but they were still a basketball. But, like, there'd be a basketball with a fake moustache on. And everybody would go, Steve, come in inside. And we had one character who once had the ability of, that's convenient. Wherein he had a bag and he could reach into the bag and he would pull out something useful in the situation you were in. And so you'd like, I think in that game we got at one point to like a 10-foot tall wall, and he reached into the bag and pulled out and kept pulling out a 10-foot tall ladder that allowed us to climb over the wall.
Oh god, I love that.
Or like at another point we were being chased by someone and he reached into the bag and just dropped some landmines behind us. That was convenient, I happened to pack these.
I will say, I do love Milady Lords there. Oh god, that got me. I had to stop myself from laughing there for a second. Because I was like, why are you taping why have you got snacks to tape to hammers? Well, I can't summon snacks.
I was also...
That is just, oh god, that opens up for brand new ideas. We need to implement this into D&D in one of the sessions.
I was also reading a list of slightly cursed fey magic items. And it was things like the bag of bee holding. It was a bag of holding that just held bees.
Valid.
And so you opened it and a swarm of bees came out. You can control the bees, you just had a bag that they lived in.
I will say that I've recently come across something which... You know how I've got those wooden eggs?
Yeah.
I wanted to try and find something D&D related which wasn't just a dragon egg for it.
Okay.
Came across something which was a homebrew thing, which I think I'd need to adapt to ever so slightly, otherwise it's a bit too overpowered as it is. Which is effectively, it's an Easter egg item, which after you release its spell, will reveal hidden items and bits and pieces around by making a giant illusionary Easter egg on them. So each one would have... As a case, okay, if I made that alone, like it was maybe like 3 uses in a day, or so, a couple of uses, or 1 use per day, or something, depending on how level you wanted to give it to the players, because that sounds absolutely amazing as a joke one, and at the same time, I want to now make it that it looks like a D&D artifact given to you by a druid.
And now for question 10. According to US law, no person shall be one of these who shall not have attained the age of 30 years. According to US law, no person shall be one of these who shall not have attained the age of 30 years.
Did Shakespeare write that one?
No, very old Americans wrote that one. Not like at the time they were very old. Like...
I mean, some of them were.
Some of them probably were not that young at the time, but it was not like, we are the ancient Americans. I'm 52.
We can't really make jokes like that much longer. How far away from 52 are we?
I think I've still got enough buffer into that.
We don't need to know that.
I am apparently now ducking from Anastasia.
And bees.
Okay, are we ready for some answers?
Not really,
No.
but go for it.
Rogue.
Oh no.
In a song from Chicago, we're told to...
Give him the old razzle dazzle.
Correct. The answer is razzle dazzle. Also,
What was that? What that's from?
what is razzle dazzle?
We have
Right,
found out
what is the old razzle dazzle?
the true identity of Dr. Bees.
Angel, this Caribbean nation was named because it reminded Spanish sailors of a province back home in Spain.
What is? I have no fucking idea.
Ben,
I put down what is Jamaica.
Rogue.
What is Grenada?
Correct, Rogue.
Oh yeah.
Ben,
I think it's pronounced Grenada, though, isn't it?
Depends on if you're American or anyone else.
Ben, the smallest of the Great Lakes, it has a surface area of about 7,500 square miles.
What is Loch Ness?
That's not that great of a lake. Rogue.
What is Lake Erie?
Angel.
Ooh.
I don't know.
The correct answer is, what is Lake Ontario?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's the smallest of the Great Lakes. It has a surface area of 7,500 square miles.
Wait, which one is that? Can you get like a picture of the Great Lakes up and show us?
Maybe.
Might as well learn something here, kiddos.
It's the 13th largest lake in the world. It's still the smallest of the great ones.
Just imagine a puddle, but bigger.
It's just a lot of water.
Water.
It's a lot of water.
Unlucky number 13.
What are you picking up? You're picking up that. So if I turn this on... This! I could point to it, but I'm now behind Wikipedia. This is Lake Ontario.
Oh, it's
That
the
whole
first
wiki
one.
page.
Oh, the next one's Lake Erie, isn't it?
And that can go away now, because I need to go back to the answers, and I can't give you that page.
I forgot there was an extra little lake there. Darn you, Canada, and your geography. Why can't you be more controversial so I care?
Rogue.
Oh no.
Look for Aretha, Ray, James Brown, Cab Calloway, and of course Twiggy and Frank Oz in this 1980 comedy film. Film comedy.
What is the Blues Brothers?
Correct.
Oh, I got that one right. Yay.
What is the Blues Brothers? Ben. No, Angel. I need to remember who I asked these questions to. Angel.
Well, we do look very similar.
You're practically the same person. The first capital of California following American occupation in 1846 was this city, today the capital of Silicon Valley, Angel.
I have no idea.
Ben.
I'm doing really good in this round, if you can tell.
I had no idea, so I just threw down, what is Los Angeles?
Rogue.
I think I've got the wrong part of the valley here, but what is San Francisco?
Yes, those are all the wrong answers. It is San Jose.
Oh.
Do I get like points for being closest?
No.
Oh.
All of you just trying to, just give me something, please.
Ben. Related to the word respect is this word for a delay that brings relief.
I had no idea, so I ended up putting down, what is meditation?
Rogue.
What is repose?
And Angel.
I only know this one because of my grandmother. What is respite?
Correct. What is respite?
Damn it, yeah. Oh, fuck. No.
Rogue. At their largest, the Japanese giant type of this crustacean can measure over 12 feet across.
What is a crab?
No. I'll give you half a point. Angel.
What is a rock crab?
Ben.
I put down, what is a king crab?
It is a spider crab. And a whole heckin' lot of nope.
Yep.
I feel just out of curiosity, I googled San Jose, and I didn't even realize San Jose was a separate city. Because like, if you look at a map of San Francisco Bay, you got San Francisco. It just keeps going, keeps going. There is no gap between San Francisco and San Jose, and then it becomes Vermont and Oakland.
I'm sure if you
It's
go
so
to the
annoying.
people there will be very definitely like a distinction between those two things. Like if you were talking to someone from San Francisco.
I mean, possibly, but one of them literally goes down like a side street with a McDonald's when it comes to like the edge of town. That's insane.
Angel. In
Yes.
the Grimm's version, this creature becomes a prince not from a kiss, but when he's thrown against the wall.
What is the golden ball and a frog?
Correct.
Do we get points for the Frog Prince?
You get points for the frog prince, yes.
Oh my god.
Ben.
Also, I was going to say, what was the difference in the telling of the Frog Prince? It's like, eh?
Well, apparently, the difference in the telling of the Frog Prince is in most other tellings of it, she kisses the frog, and in this one, the frog goes in for the kiss and she yeets it against a wall, and it turns into a prince.
But it's a dead prince because throwing it into the wall fucking killed it.
Which largely tells me that the Frog Prince was just under polymorph, and when it was reduced to 0 hit points, it returned to its natural state.
This just opens up a very different thing, which is dark origins of fairy tales. This is the true stories of the fairy tales.
Yeah, that's just Grimm's.
Yeah, that's just what all the Grimms are.
Oh no. The Grimms took stories and compiled them.
True.
The stories which they have origins beyond that. They're just the first compilation, which is most well known, obviously, why everyone goes back to the Grimm's fairy tales, but they're all compiled stories.
I mean, they're all the stories of don't go out in the fucking woods, kids. It's scary.
Yeah,
don't go wandering out in the places where you don't know what the stuff is.
There are also stories about don't be a dick or you'll have to cut off body parts and get eaten by birds.
Oh, yeah.
If you go down to the woods today, you're going to fucking die.
Ben.
Yes. I'm glad to hear that you're using my full title.
Ben. When faced with danger, certain ducks, snakes, and mammals do this, also called thanatosis.
Play dead.
Correct. And never fear, everybody, tea and loot is here.
Hey.
And finally, rogue. According to US law, no person shall be one of these who shall not have attained the age of 30 years.
What is president?
Angel.
Yes?
According to US law, no person shall be one of these who has not attained the age of 30 years.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. President.
Ben.
I end up down member of parliament and just realised, do they have parliament over there or do they have Congress or something like that? But
Is this gonna be
Congress, but good try.
The correct answer is a senator, which I think means Ben gets a point.
Yes, Ben gets a point. No, I thought it was weird that you were saying 30 because I'm pretty sure you have to be 40 before you can be president. And you have to have served so many years in office prior.
Becoming US president. 1 second, I'm Googling.
35.
I mean, either way, all of these laws are ageist.
As directed by the Constitution, a presidential candidate must be a natural-born citizen of the United States, a resident for 14 years, and 35 years or older.
I guess I'm never becoming president.
I don't know. I mean, we could always just sort of falsify a birth certificate, and then maybe there's a chance.
Okay.
You know what? I will let you be invested in the idea of making me president of the United States. I'm not sure the world's ready for me to turn the US socialist, though.
I don't think the US is ready for that, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
I couldn't.
The question giver, how many points did you get that round?
5. I've got to actually say, during this quiz, I'm actually doing good for a change.
Angel Feather.
I got, hold on, 4, which puts me at 12.
And the Lo-Fi Bandit.
4.5.
8.5. Okay, and we move into a round that everybody's going to score really well at. It is ancient Egyptian mythology, and Angel's mum scored 5.
Good job, Mama!
It's a support team for quest giver. Like, lucky rabbit's foot, but less macabre. Yeah, we leave the rabbit's foot on here. We just stroke the rabbit instead.
I still remember the time my mum had a German parent come into the school to talk about the rabbits they kept for meat, and traumatise the kids by pointing out that they had the rabbits, and yes, they were going to kill the rabbits and eat the rabbits soon. No!
Why do I just get the image of, they come in, this is Flopsy. And just later on in the day come out, here, have some of Flopsy.
Okay, question 1. Thoth was the ancient Egyptian god of what? Thoth, or Toth, or Thoth. I don't know how you pronounce the name. It's ancient Egyptian. Nobody's said it for a while. I always said it Thoth, but probably I'm wrong. Good night, Anastasia.
Good night.
Is the ancient Egyptian god of what? T and Loot, don't share answers in the chat until we are marking the answers, please.
Well, you could always.
Don't listen to Ben.
Put a little link, a little hashtag, put down quest giver. It'll be fine.
Ben's face, XD.
They can see.
Yeah, they can see, and there is no way to stop them from seeing.
I'm just waiting for the point of just hearing you now just frantically typing. Okay, so question 1. Who is Agatonta?
Yeah. I have not yet got a way to get them to not look at Twitch chat other than just ask them nicely, and they wouldn't respect that. So we just ask Twitch chat to be nice.
It's one of those things where it's the reaction parts of being able to sort of react to other little bits and pieces. You've got the camera up for us and all that lot. So.
1 second.
Chris.
No, that wasn't the right button.
Nope.
That's the one. Hey, Chris.
Don't read the chat, Ben. That's just rude. Just rude.
I will happily negate that answer anyway, just for the sake of things.
I mean, that assumes chat is right.
Yeah, I mean that is
true.
the other part of it. You got to make sure that chat knows what they're talking about. You got to trust chat more than you trust yourself.
Or literally, if it weren't for the sake of literally doing the whole point of we respond to things which are happening in the chat and have a laugh with the chat.
I mean, there is that. There's the whole. What if they're not looking at chat? That's like what Twitch is all about, right?
I'm gonna cover this next time just blindfolded. It's okay, I can't cheat now.
How are you going to write down the answers blindfolded?
My screen's gonna look terrible, is it?
Ben has written
Somehow that's the correct answer. How did he know? Question 2. The goddess of truth, justice, and harmony, she was the daughter of Ra and was often depicted with a feather on her head. What's her name?
Yeah, what was that you were trying to say before, John? Is that the?
That's not how you say Thoth.
Okay, I see.
There's going to be a decent amount of John Butcher's ancient Egyptian names in this round. But there aren't a lot of ancient Egyptians around to check the pronunciation of them.
Any ancient Egyptians in the chat, please feel free to let yourself know.
If
No,
Along with the answers, we'd very much like the answers. in
if
the chat.
Anubis is around, just let me know. Last time seen in American Gods as a small town.
The random username is like yo.
Undertaker. Question 3. The universe started out as what?
According to whom?
The ancient
Egypt.
Egyptians.
Ah, see, that's
According to the ancient Egyptians' creation stories, what was the universe started as?
See, this is why getting the first answer I don't think is going to matter too much.
I don't think that's the right answer, but it's an answer that's adjacent to it.
I love adjacent answers. They're the best answers.
Sort of like answers. Question 4. Who was the goddess of motherhood?
Clarification, that's the Egyptian.
These are all Egyptian.
This is Egyptian mythology.
This is a round on ancient Egyptian mythology. Because I was asked to do a round on ancient Egypt, and I went with history, and apparently people preferred mythology. So I've gone and done mythology now.
Well, don't get me wrong, it doesn't do much difference for myself, but still.
Everybody's really happy with that decision I made.
I mean,
to be
I'm
fair,
very happy, but I'm still gonna lose.
I'm making brilliant progress at the moment.
So yeah, question 4. Who was the goddess of motherhood? Question 5. What kind of animal was Sekhmet? What kind of animal was Sekhmet?
Oh God.
What kind of animal was Sekhmet's head depicted as then?
Specifically, the head.
Oh, you know, they were the Egyptians. They went, let's stick with human body and we're going to stick an animal head on top. There's the god now.
Egyptians were the original furries.
Confirmed.
And scalies.
I mean, no questions from, no argument from this side.
So far, this is the first one where I have a chance of answering it.
Law says
correctly.
Oh,
Law
this
says
is Egypt law.
they knew the difficulty in drawing animal anatomy. So they stuck with the human bit and then stuck the animal head on top.
I always put it down that they just like drawing the abs. They like that part of it. Just very dedicated to it. So we told you it's meant to be an alligator. No, abs.
But yeah.
No!
But so much yif.
Yeah.
Question 6. Her name means she who loves silence. The goddess of the mountain overlooking the Valley of the Kings. She was a cobra goddess who would spit venom at anyone attempting to disturb one of the valley's royal tombs. Who was she?
I don't know, but she sounds badass.
Doesn't she? Right?
Oh, this is so specific.
Does she have an OnlyFans? What's going on?
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure
apparently,
that's what all temples basically were, right?
apparently she's been really negligent in the duty of spitting venom at anyone disturbing the royal tombs in the last couple of 100 years. But Yeah. She who loves silence.
I mean, you say she, but you know, I'm down with it.
Apparently they married Law, and they, you know, we've been busy. Okay, she's got a family now.
She doesn't love silence if she's got a family.
She can love it. She just doesn't get it.
That's not fair. I've never met Laura in real life. I'm the only one here who hasn't, I think.
No, I don't think Law's met Angel or Ben yet, and I've only met briefly in real life. I've talked a lot, but only met briefly.
They do love silence, I can confirm. Whether or not they actually get silence, that's a different story.
One thing Law has confirmed is that Ben has met their parents and sister and nieces and nephews, but not Law themselves.
Yeah, they got a photo of me and everything.
Hang on.
Are
Okay,
you Law?
fine. No, I'm not Law.
No, Ben. Ben, are you secretly Law?
No,
I hope not.
I've seen them in different rooms.
Damn it, I've been...
No, Law's
On the whole,
family. Law's family
nearly-
went to Chelmsford what was it called? Chelmsford Takeover.
Oh, I remember this story, yeah. Everyone was like, that's Mario!
And guess who was Mario?
Yahoo!
Oh yeah, and Law also came to Leah's 30th birthday party that we were both at, Ben.
Oh.
But we both left before they got there.
Oh no.
So that's twice you've nearly met Law.
That's really awkward.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll meet. We will meet one day. The stars will align and we will come together. It is guaranteed.
I mean, you're
Question 7.
Question 7. Who is the vulture goddess?
Oh no.
I'm doing really well in this round.
Who is
Angel's
the
the only one who
vulture
actually-
goddess?
Angel's the only one who did any prep for this round, I'm thinking, correct?
Nope.
I want to know who asked for Egyptian mythology as a question, because I would have paid so much more attention in GCSE history.
Me.
Are you regretting that decision now, Rogue?
No, I'm confident with some of these. It's just trying to remember which one the vulture head is.
Which one was I wouldn't mind so much if we'd done the other one which we talked about, which is Viking.
John's did the annoying thing if he's not asked like the area of Egyptian mythology that I know really well, which is really frustrating.
Oh god.
We'll get to Norse myth. I've just
It's in there.
I thought we'd already done that one.
I think we've done one round of Norse myth before, but we can do more. There's lots of myth.
My favorite part of it is you did Norse myth. It was one which I suggested, and then you did it when I wasn't there.
There's only so much Norse myth you can fit into, like, what, 10 or 12 questions?
Yeah,
To be fair.
there's a lot more Norse myth than you can fit into 10 questions, so I can do another 10. I've still got the 10 questions I asked before. I can ask different ones.
We have a bonus round today.
I've just written it down for June, so you've got some time to prep it.
Put those questions in. I'm going to make those questions in for June.
That's how far in advance I have rounds planned at the moment. Very organised of me. Question 8. I don't know if you're going to get this one or not, but I loved the story so much I needed to throw this one in. Once Osiris returned from his travels, Seth greeted his brother with apparent love, and even held a banquet in his honour. How did this night of celebration end?
Badly.
Yeah.
The answer that I have written down is slightly longer than that, but
I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't know. I just said that for the shits and giggles.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, I figured, otherwise it wouldn't have been written down, because if it had ended well with everybody going home slightly drunk, it wouldn't be written in history, would it?
So
Nobody
there-
cares about the nights that ended well. Everybody cares about the nights that ended in bloodshed and murder and mystery, you know?
Everyone remembers the victoire.
There is a follow-up story to the follow-up question to this that I want to ask because I was very much hoping this question was going to come up.
we'll get to
The
that.
story is absurd and I love it.
We'll get to that when I've answered, when we do the answers. But for now, question 9 is, what was the name of the serpent that represented the forces of evil in ancient Egypt? Law. The question 8 was, once Osiris had returned from his travels, Seth greeted his brother with apparent love, and even held a banquet in his honour. How did this night of celebration end?
Oh, thank you, Stargate, for reminding me of the answer.
Oh god, Stargate's the only reason I even have any answers.
It's just
I'm
everyone's
trying to remember
reference.
Gods of Egypt.
Well, mine is the city building game Pharaoh, which recently was re-released, but I haven't been playing. Otherwise, I probably would have more answers, but I just remembered one random ass character from that show, which was the answer to this.
And finally, question 10. Law says the correct answer for question 9, in case you don't have it, is Bernard.
Oh, that's good to know.
Question 10. What was
And
the
Law
goddess...
would know, after all, they are dating
Yeah.
an Egyptian goddess.
Oh,
Question 10. What was the goddess Ammit known as? Bernard. What was the goddess Ammit known as?
give me 2 seconds, I'll be back.
You going to ask?
I'm having a moment here because I didn't realize that one was real.
Are you guys ready for some answers? Do you want any
Well, might as
questions
well have 'em.
repeated?
To be
Man,
fair,
you-
the majority of my page is empty anyway. I don't think it's gonna help.
You're gonna be fine, guys. Like, I've got to get another 3.5 points just to catch up to Angel, above you both.
Angel.
Yeah.
Thoth was the ancient Egyptian god of what?
The moon?
Ben.
Fuck.
I hope the moon god.
I told you not to trust chat.
Rogue.
I'm not even reading chat.
Knowledge.
Rogue, you get a full point. I will give Angel and Ben half a point. Thoth was the ancient Egyptian god of writing and knowledge. He was considered the scribe of the gods. It was believed by the ancient Egyptians that Thoth had given them the gift of hieroglyphs as a form of writing, but he was also thought to be connected with the moon. So he wasn't the moon god, but, you know, he was involved.
Honestly, I only even remembered his name was because I was looking for names of moon gods when I was thinking of naming Lunar, and then I ended up going with Lunar, so...
Ben, the
So when can I
goddess...
give my answers?
For question 1, which you already did. So,
Yeah, I did that. Sorry, my bad.
question 2, Ben. The goddess of truth, justice, and harmony. She was the daughter of Ra and was also depicted, or often depicted, with a feather on her head.
No idea. I literally couldn't even come up with a funny answer.
Angel.
I think it's Matt.
Yes.
Ooh, that was
Ma'at.
dope. I thought that was just a concept. I didn't realize it was also a goddess.
Ma'at sat in judgment over the souls of the dead in the judgment hall of Osiris. Rogue, the universe started out as what?
Ra's semen?
Ben.
I'm so glad that wasn't right.
I wasn't sure. I put down a greater deity. I was wondering whether maybe it'd be similar to Norse law, and I couldn't even think of who it might be.
Angel.
I had no answer for this one.
Chris, you got an answer for this one?
Is it a vast cosmic ocean of nothingness?
You're the closest. It was a big watery void.
Yeah.
Damn it.
In the beginning, there was nothing but chaos. This primordial watery void was a great marsh known as None, which existed as a potentiality of all things.
Or, as it's known in proper programming language, null.
Ben, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the goddess of motherhood?
I had no idea.
Angel.
I don't know the names of any of these gods.
I don't know either.
Rogue.
Isis?
Chris, you got an answer for the goddess of motherhood?
Hathor.
Hathor.
Oh, of course.
Just looking to see. Nobody's in my Google Doc. It's locked. Cool.
Hacking now.
Hathor, a goddess closely associated with Horus, either his mum or his wife.
Nobody knows. Ha! Hashtag Egypt.
I was gonna say there's a story coming up in number 8 which would distinctly assign who Horus's mum is.
Stay tuned. We'll listen more in question 8.
Angel, what kind of animal was Sekhmet?
A lion.
Correct.
Woohoo!
Lioness, but we'll...
And that was the last answer I have for this round. I have nothing else for anything else.
Law says, to be fair, Roxy isn't under the don't use Google rules. Because he isn't being scored. Question 6. Rogue. Her name means she who loves silence. Goddess of etc. etc. Who was she?
I couldn't really remember, so I went with Hassett.
Ben.
Lady, shut up.
Surprisingly, no. It'd be good, though. You got an answer for us, Chris?
Mary Setka?
Yeah. Merit Setka. Occasionally, she would also manifest herself as a scorpion with a woman's head for, I guess, shits and giggles.
They gave her a lot of, no touchy vibes.
She was real, defensive.
Yeah. Punished a lot of thieves.
She was especially revered by the inhabitants of Deir el Medina, who were responsible for building the royal tombs. They called her the Lady of the Peak. She was believed to strike at workers who committed crimes, but if the victim repented their actions, she would heal the wound.
She would make them go blind.
Not all fun and games.
No, it sounds like a bad time, to be honest. Hey, did you do bad? Blind. No, I repent.
Sorry.
Okay, not blind. Not blind. All right, next.
It's a real swift punishment system. Ben, who was the vulture goddess?
Villain from Spider-Man.
I believe the answer
Harry
you're looking for
Osborn?
there
What?
is Adrian Toomes. I mean, Angel, you've said you're out of answers now, so...
I am out of answers, man. I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Rogue.
The urge to say Adrian Toomes is so strong right now. But simply because it was wrong last time, might be right this time. Hassett?
Still no.
I had to try.
Chris.
Neckbet.
Yes, Neckbet was the goddess who could never pick a side. She was in a close relationship with Babi, the god of the bad side of baboons, because apparently they got that granular about their gods and goddesses. Neckbet is the goddess of protection. She was also in a relationship with Ra, who is the god of sun and goodness, but Neckbet was one of the most powerful goddesses because she had both good and evil in her nature.
You notice how like Egyptian gods are pretty like loose leaf when it comes to morals. Like on the one hand, protection. On the other hand, gonna be with like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had a long life. They, like, nothing to say they were at the same time.
Yeah.
Rogue, do you want to tell us about what happened when Osiris returned from his travels?
So Osiris they went in, they had the feast, and then, well, Seth killed him, chopped his body into bits, and scattered his body across the land. There's a follow-up to this, which I want to tell, which explains why I gave a different answer to the one that John gave before.
Please excuse me while I back my previous incorrect answer.
But is that the answer you wanted, John?
Oh, my specific point was the night ended with Seth challenging Osiris to leap into a chest.
No, Seth chopped Osiris into pieces.
Before they did that, Seth invited Osiris to a dinner with 72 evil conspirators. Although
No conspirators? That's news. That's new to me.
Although the number varies between stories. Before the dinner, Seth had secretly measured the body proportions of his brother and ordered a chest to be made of expensive wood, designed with intricate detail. Once drunk enough, Osiris leapt into the chest with a promise that it would be his if he fit. Then they shut the lid and locked him up and chopped him into little pieces and spread him around.
I just want to see a cartoon now of Seth just going around secretly measuring his brother.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So, how much is your inner Osiris? Yes. How much is your inner fire weigh? About 12 inches. Okay, cool, great. Let me just.
You just no. He is measured, so it just makes you wonder at what point, at what part of the day has he gone up? Can you imagine that one just going up a little bit too high and just trying to brush that off?
Can you imagine the guy making the box? It's just like, what's this for exactly? Oh, it's for my brother's various body parts.
So, for the record, I did say he was murdered. Do I get the point?
I'll give you a point for that. You did say he was murdered.
He was brutally murdered.
To be fair,
Right.
You
No.
get a point for that. Luckily, the one thing I put on here is they killed Osiris.
Yeah, you got a point for
Just
that.
go by general myth is generally on the lines of one of them will kill the other one. So.
I just love the detail that he went to. That he was like going around secretly measuring him, like the Undertaker in some old Wild West cartoon. Just like
Osiris just wakes up and sees dotted lines between his thigh and arm. He's like, huh, I wonder what happened here.
The story does get weirder.
Oh no!
So this is the bit that led to why I put Isis for number 4 rather than what did you say, John? Hathor?
Yeah, Hathor.
Because, well, Osiris at the time had a sister wife, Isis. Isis then went around after he was brutally murdered and scattered across the land, and went to try and find all the parts of his body. Other gods get introduced into it depending on which version of the story you're telling. But the thing that
wasn't there like the side story about like Nephthys, who was like Osiris's wife, and then Seth like conceived a child from Nephthys and produced Anubis. You know.
Anyway, to finish my story, so they go around, and sadly, the one part of Osiris that they couldn't find was his tackle. There's
a special box assigned just for that, you know.
Also known in Egyptian mythology as the Talisman of Set. So, because of this, in order to heal him and bring him back to life, Isis magically grew him a penis and fucked it, which is what led to the birth of Horus.
What? You know what? No, I'm done.
You know what it just sounds like? It just sounds like you've made up an excuse there. You know, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know how you're missing that part. I magically made one and we made this.
You know what?
This is how that happened.
Look, I said the story got weirder.
Yeah, you say he gets weirder, but look it up. He's kind of not wrong. But there's a lot of that in Egyptian mythology where it's like, and lo, his penis does regrow.
Well, it's why my answer for 3 was Ra's semen, because I know canonically Ra's semen is the Milky Way. That is for sure part of it.
No, but we're talking about before Ra's semen.
Yeah, earlier than that.
It was just a vast ocean of no.
Yeah.
And then Ra's semen ended up in it, and then boom, Milky Way. I can see where you're coming from.
It's one of those things. Let's face it, ancient mythology is filled to the brim with this stuff.
It's all about pacing, is what it is. It's just when what happened.
I think I'm killing Law, apparently. But that is why, because Isis is a goddess of motherhood, I put Isis as the goddess of motherhood.
No,
question 4.
Completely understand where you're coming from.
Spider-Man.
But yeah, there you go. There's my weird story that made this weirder.
Question
Weirder
9.
than a guy being measured and chopped up in a box.
Question 9.
Question 9. Ben. What was the name of the serpent that represented the forces of evil in ancient Egypt?
Bernard.
Rogue.
Apophis.
Apophis.
Yeah.
The goddess Neith gave birth to Apophis by spitting him out. His name, Apophis, actually means he who was spat out.
Well, accurate.
Apothis's goal was to destroy Ra, the sun god, and prevent the sun from rising.
Mission completed. We'll get them next time.
Plopeth.
And at the end, they moved over to Britain, where he felt like he won.
Also called Ape, Apipi, Rehe. The Egyptian demon of chaos.
Fair enough.
Also, one of the earliest creatures referred to as a dragon.
Rogue.
Even though really,
Even though it was a snake. Yeah.
Dragons are weird.
Rogue. What was the goddess Ammit known as?
I want to say the goddess of punishment.
Ben.
Goddess of wisdom. I don't know.
Chris.
The devourer of souls.
Ammit was the soul devourer. She was the creature that would eat your soul if you had not lived a good life. She was depicted with the head of a crocodile, the forequarters of a lion, the hindquarters of a hippo. She would sit beside Ma'at at the Hall of Two Truths, and would...
Because hippo.
and would eat the souls that were full of sin and weighed heavier than a feather.
So every soul, right?
No, if you were a good person, your soul weighed less than the feather of Ma'at.
Oh, okay.
The question giver, how did you score that round?
1.5 points.
The half.
Yeah, I got a half for the sake of the moon god.
Angel Feather.
Yeah, I got 2.5.
Oh, it's getting closer there. Lo-Fi Bandit.
I mean, unless you're going to give me retroactive points, that's only 4.
I'm not going to give you retroactive points.
But it was such a good story.
It was a very nice story, and you got a point for it.
Well versed in Egyptian mythology there.
We now move on to the final round of this quiz, which is, and is going to be, and will always be, Beat the Chaser.
Oh yeah.
These are a selection of quiz questions that have been asked to the Beast from The Chaser, and I have noted down all of the ones that he got wrong. So let's see if you can beat or tie with The Chaser. Question 1. Who first came to the UK public eye when he played Scott Robinson on Neighbours?
Everybody needs good neighbors.
Cool. I'm just going to start thinking of the round for next month.
Like, same, because, oh my god.
Who first came to the UK public eye when he played Scott Robinson on Neighbours?
Worst part? Absolute worst part?
You know the answer?
No.
You can picture the
No,
person's
no.
face.
When I was young, real young, I got obviously diagnosed with being partially deaf. I
What?
had to learn how to lip read. And basically, when it came down to a lot of my training or practice for that at home was sat watching the TV. There were a couple particular ones which we watched, which were along the lines of the news and a few other things. But the other one was my mum's favorite program she liked to watch, so I'd watch alongside and try and learn to lip read. Happened to be Neighbours.
Oh, so you're saying you know the answer?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying that for the amount of time where
Should
I've
know
watched
the
it,
answer.
I should know the answer.
Question 2. What relation to you is your son's grandfather's brother?
Is this basically taking the riddle of fathers and sisters have I none, but the son of that man is own father's son?
Yeah.
What relation to you is your son's grandfather's brother?
Say it again. So,
What relation to you is your son's grandfather's brother? Question 3. Which group's only UK number 1 was The Final Countdown?
It's the final brain cell.
Which
Names.
groups?
It had to be names.
Which groups?
I know this because I've covered it.
I know this only because of the cover on the final brain.
Is it my cover? No.
I
I
don't know.
don't
Doing
just
for-
know this.
What
I
shall I
just
put
don't.
down for the next time?
No, I think you're good. I have only one answer so far.
Question
need to get-
4.
Yeah, oh god.
Comis and Bartlett are varieties of which fruit?
Fruit?
Comis and Bartlett are varieties of which fruit?
Do I look like I eat fruit?
Yes?
You're so kind.
You don't have jaundice, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, but that's what multivitamins are for.
Wait, those aren't fruit?
Well,
Mine are all fruit
Technically
flavored.
chemicals. It really comes down to where your
they
definition
kind of
lies.
are. It depends on your outlook.
Bailey's chocolate eggs are not fruit, Law. I hate to tell you this, they are not fruit.
They are made of fruit.
If you reverse engineer chocolate, all chocolates are fruit. So it's fine.
I mean, chocolate is just very elaborate fruit juice.
It's fruit juice with a lot of extra steps. Yeah.
Question 5. Boise is the capital of which US state?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not saying that right.
I know this because I watched a film about it. It's called Moving, and they talk about it. They're going to Boise, and it's actually Boise.
Do you think I can convince the diabetic nurse it's good sugar?
No.
No. I know this. I know this, and I'm typing it.
I do not think you can convince the diabetic nurse of that. I think the diabetic nurse is an expert in that field.
You could always place when it's a good and just sort of hold the middle part, just do that whole bit of good. Hold on, just do.
And it's a movie involving a Saab and someone who used to claim they were deaf. I know that Boise.
That's how you get good sugar there. It's a quotation
Boise.
mark with a little bit in the middle taken out. Good.
What you need to do is take the sugar out. That's where the
chocolate is a
nutrient.
good sugar. The quotations are the key part. It's
Yeah.
good
Look,
sugar.
what you do is you take the good sugar out. You discard the double quotes, and
You just gotta be like the journalists, you just
double-
take the part you don't like out.
the double quotes they're just empty carbs.
You just
That's
take
what
out
it
the
is,
word tasting.
Or-
Good tasting sugar. Take out the tasting, it's good sugar.
Or you start talking with a southern accent and chocolate is good. Sugar?
Yeah. Would you like some iced tea, hun?
Question 6. Which cocktail?
No. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count. Yep.
Question 6.
Question 6.
Which cocktail in its most basic form contains vodka, Galliano, and orange juice?
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Miss Nurse Lady, but I don't do negativity like bad. The counsellor said I need a more positive mindset.
What's this new recipe for morning tea you just read, John?
I mean, regardless, this sounds like a good time in my book.
Which cocktail in its most basic form contains vodka, Galliano, and orange juice? Are you ready for question 7?
Yeah.
Might as well.
As I'll ever be.
What name is given to a triangle with 3 internal angles that are all the same?
Oh my gosh, one I actually know.
All I'm learning from this quiz is that I would not beat the chaser.
Yeah, all right.
Unless I get the one with the Ant and Decker sort of playing ball and just... Guess the answers.
I'm still shocked from like, I think I found out like last week or something that like Ant and Dec used to rap on Biker Grove. I
Yes.
did not realize that's where they came from.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately had no idea that's where they came from because like Biker Grove was on TV when I was in the Middle East.
I'm not
So, like-
sure how we could do Tipping Point, milady, but there must be some kind of Twitch TV plug-in in which we could do Tipping Point.
I also have 2 more rounds of Beat the Chaser first, so any suggestions like that would have to go in about July at this point.
Please book in advance.
I will also point out that in the terms of the Beat the Chaser questions, these were the ones that were labelled as easy.
Oh, so if we get this wrong, we're especially dumb. Okay.
The next round, which will be next month, was labelled as medium.
Now labelled as scrapped.
And the third round that will take place in June, alongside Norse mythology, was hard and very hard.
Oh, it's very hard. Oh my
Jammed
God.
into one, so that I didn't have to put you through an entire
Look,
round of very hard.
All I know is that if you do the extra hard missions, you get bonus XP. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm all for it.
Question 8. Temple Meads railway station could be found in which English city? Temple Meads railway station could be found in which English city?
I don't know, but they sell meat. I'm going there.
Question 9. Next category, Guild Wars 2 or skincare?
I know both of those, apart from the skincare.
Next category is going to be on Raid Shadow Legends. You ever...
You know, if you enter the code Final Boss Fight 20, you get 2 extra Elysium and 14 million extra heroes. Raid Shadow
What?
Legends.
If you enter the code
I-
Final Boss Fight, nothing will happen because we are not being sponsored now, nor will we ever be sponsored by
Not
Raid
yet.
Shadow Legends.
Well, no, but
But-
that's
It's a
about it, too.
shitty game.
But Raid Shadow Wallet is the thing.
It's a terrible game. I've played it because everybody was endorsing it, and I played it, and I was all like, "Wow, this game is shit." There are like a dime a dozen games that do the exact same thing that are a million times better,
It's the same thing. It's like you can
and have pretty.
you can basically buy the license to the format and then just substitute heroes.
Yeah, copy and paste.
Yeah, it's so.
This is why in the final boss fight, Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, place yourself. Tack and law tack special character. Question 9.
Question 9. The
Question nine.
2018 UK Christmas #1 by Lad Baby mentioned which food?
Dude, come on.
The 2018 UK Christmas #1 by Lad Baby mentioned which food?
Didn't they?
Baklava, yeah.
Have they not come under fire for like having the most like why are these still Christmas?
They hold the record for the most Christmas #1s.
Yeah,
5 of them.
this is a problem. apparently.
Well, it does go to say quite a lot about the way our taste in music has dramatically changed.
It's not about the
It's
music.
not taste.
It
I
is,
don't know. It's not taste of music. It's more along the lines of
my
effectively.
judgment is very much reserved on that, baby.
And finally, question 10. Rearguard was the failed US adaptation of which British comedy?
I think they miss marrying. I don't know.
Can you repeat the question?
Rearguard was the failed US adaptation of which British comedy?
Sorry, I just love the idea of a Mighty Boosh in America.
Yeah,
They-
it's shooting stars.
They would not understand it.
I mean, I barely understand it. I wasn't really into it at the time that it was a thing.
I think half of that's meant to be the point. Is it's out there comedy. Is literally taking things to
It's
a funny,
absurdist.
ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Absurd nature of it.
I just had too much of a stick up my ass when I was at school.
Are you guys
Gotta be painful.
Are you guys ready for some answers?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, go for it.
We are gonna start. I'm gonna look at the right group of people. I'm gonna start at the top of the list on Discord and say, Angel,
Yeah.
who
Ooh.
first came to the UK public eye when he played Scott Robinson on Neighbours?
I have no idea.
Ben.
An actor. Tell me I'm wrong, John. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, as your strokes are as broad as they are wide.
Chris.
Darius Perkins, or Daruid Perkins, sorry.
Rogue.
I don't have an answer.
Jason Donovan.
Oh,
Cool.
he was the original.
Ben. What relation to you is your son's grandfather's brother?
So my son's grandfather's brother will be my uncle.
You are correct.
I feel like this could have two answers, because, like,
No, there's
could have
only one.
two gra-
There's,
you could
there's
have two
there's
grandfathers.
only
Yeah,
one.
but either way, their brother would be your uncle.
By law or...
wait, really? So, like,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
can,
that's how
my-
it works.
you can have
They're your
effectively
uncle.
Yeah, there can be your uncle-in-law, but it would technically just be labelled uncle.
Chris.
Hello.
You say you know this answer, but which group's only UK number one was The Final Countdown?
That would be Europe, John.
That would be Europe.
No, it's in Britain.
No, we didn't leave the EU before that. It's fine.
Rogue. Comis and Bartlett are varieties of which fruit?
pear?
Yes.
Correct.
That was a dark, that one.
Well done.
Angel.
Yes.
Boise, or Boise, is the capital of which US state?
I have no idea. I
Ben.
kind of want to say New Jersey, but I think it's wrong.
Nope, you're wrong.
Ben.
I have no idea, so let's just throw out a random one, Texas.
Nope.
Nope.
I
Chris.
didn't think it would be.
It's Idaho, John.
It is Idaho. Boise,
Watch-
Idaho.
Watch the 1990s film Moving. To enjoy everything about Boise, Idaho. Which is why, like, when you said it's Boise, I'm like, no, wait a minute.
Thaden, Boise. Ben.
I just end up thinking of the Only Fools and Horses.
No, we did, Ben. Chris,
Hello.
which cocktail is in its most basic form vodka, Galliano, and orange juice?
That's a Harvey Wall banger, John.
That is a Harvey Wall banger. Rogue,
Yeah.
what name is given to a triangle with 3 internal angles that are the same?
An equilateral triangle.
An equilateral triangle or an equilateral triangle, yes.
And that is, again, my last good answer.
or a conjuring triangle if you want to be really sophisticated with it.
Angel,
I just told you,
you
I have
just
no
said you don't
answer.
have any answers. Ben, where is Temple Meads railway station?
I put Manchester.
Chris,
Riddle.
it is Bristol. I'm going to say to Chris again, what's the food?
What at Bristol Station? Oh no!
Lad,
for the
Lad Baby's
number
Christmas
one.
#1.
Oh, it's sausage rolls, mate.
Yeah. So the 2018 hit was "We Built This City" on,
Sausage rolls.
followed by 2019, where he sung about his love for sausage rolls.
Yeah,
2020, where he they sang "Don't Stop Me Eating."
Jesus.
2021 with "Sausage Rolls for Everyone" featuring Ed Sheeran and Elton John. And then 2022 they sang "Food Aid."
Yeah, they got a lot of flack for the last couple because it's Lad Baby, and of course they're gonna get a lot of flack for it.
And finally,
Google it if you want
The
to.
internet, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
finally, Rogue. Rearguard was the failed US adaptation of which British comedy?
I don't have a proper answer for this, so I went with hello, hello.
Nope.
Ben.
I put Dad's Army.
Yes.
Ding 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 ding.
Oh.
It's the sort of thing I'd like to
Although
steal.
I would like to weigh in and say that Hello Hello was an amazing
Yeah.
series.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely
such a good
fabulous.
series.
Loved it. Loved it so much. But yeah, that's always what
I think the main reason you can probably say it failed was because there wasn't a Dad's Army movement in the States.
No, there wasn't.
Because it didn't really happen that way. It wasn't a thing.
I don't need to worry as much.
Yeah. So, at the end of that, the question giver.
I got an additional 4 points during that round.
Angel Feather.
I got 2.
And the Lo-Fi Bandit.
Oh no, I feel really bad for this. I got 5.
And so, at the last moment, the Lo-Fi Bandit overtakes Angel Feather. The question giver is the winner this month with 20 and a half. The Lo-Fi Bandit has 17 and a half. And Angel Feather has 16 and a half. So, Angel Feather, you get to name a round for May.
God. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with the language of flowers.
Oh, okay, I'm going to have to study for this one, shit.
So, coming up in May, we will have the second part of Beat the Chaser with the questions labelled medium.
Dun dun
Points will be won.
dun.
Oh, I would also like to point out that the Beat the Chaser round 1 that was labelled as easy, he got all of them. He had a perfect score that round.
Yeah, obviously.
From the second round, there are several questions he didn't get right, and you might be able to score more than the Chaser.
I'm just hoping that when it comes down to it, it's
Can I ask,
incredibly hard.
so if we beat the Chaser, do we get like 400 or 40,000 pounds or?
No, we don't have the budget for that, I'm afraid.
Do you see?
But next month, I also have one of the other rounds already written up for next month, which is cryptic film titles, because when I was looking up pop culture riddles in films, it gave me some cryptic film titles. So we'll have that next month as well.
Ooh.
Wait, what was it? Cryptic film titles?
Cryptic film titles. So film titles where they've written it out not how you would expect it to be written out.
All right.
Final Boss Fight 2, The Finaling, this summer.
Along with The Language of Flowers and Beat the Chaser, medium tier.
Okay, I'm going to start coming up with
Watch out.
topics for the next one.
Watch out for great titles like The Daffodil and The Dandelion.
But all it remains for me to say now is thank you guys for thank you guys in the call for being here and taking part and learning some new stuffs.
Yeah, definitely did that part. Let's wait for the point where at the end, these are all questions which have been asked throughout the year. Let's see how much you've learned.
We should have no. I know, Ben, you touched on it, but it's like we should have a FBF pub quiz recap where John asks all of the questions that were asked throughout the year.
I legitimately have a round that I am building up.
I love it.
That
I'm there
is the I have told you the answer round. where it is legitimately things that haven't been asked or answered, but the things that are in the little bit of information I give about the answers.
I do like that. I've got to give you that. I like that.
I'm ready for that.
So it is.
I'm ready for that.
It is a round that at the moment only has 3 or 4 questions in it, but I'm building it up as we go. So that will probably be at some point towards the end of the year. I've told you the answer to this one this year, so you've got no excuse for not getting it.
But you got it on anyway.
I also do have a Shakespeare's plays and films round that I need to remember to slot in at some point that I think at the moment is looking like July.
Can we just take 3 seconds to appreciate John's flowing locks? Because yeah. Good, buddy.
There we go. There is the time to celebrate that.
Yeah, you go find yourselves a room.
All that remains for me to say now is thank you guys in the chat so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow button. It's a great way for you guys to know when we go live. A completely free way that you can support us on the channel. We are aiming to get to 350 followers by the time we get to MCM Comic Con. I don't know why, what keeps happening with that, but we seem to gain followers and then lose followers again. So we'd really appreciate if you know anybody who isn't following us, if you let them know that we're here. Would really like to hit that goal. It'd be really cool. We have a YouTube channel that you can go to find all of the replays of all of our old stuff. Head on over there, hit the subscribe, hit the little bell over there. You'll get notifications for when we post videos there. We also have a Discord channel where you can join us and talk to us about things like the quiz questions, or Suzume, which is an anime film I watched last night, or other things that you might like saying good morning to a group of really cool people every day. Some people who respond only in GIFs. It's all fun over there. Head on over there and yeah, have a good time. We also have a website where you can find the links to all of these things that I've just said, like the YouTube, like the Discord, links on the website, www. There's probably too many in there, but, put a few W's and then www.finalbossfight.co.uk. You'll find us.
The fact that you're a web developer and you were like, that's your solution.
There's just a lot of W's, just loads of W's, and then finalbossfight.co.uk.
Just all of them.
I am, to be fair, they believe it at my current workplace. We don't do anything with computers, but they believe me.
The worldwide wibbly 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 web.
The World Wide Wibbly 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 Web.
You just got to imagine the world covered by a giant web. Where a giant spider's gone by and done it.
Head on over to our website for links to all of the social media things that we do, as well as descriptions of the characters we play in role-playing games, stories that Ben and Jeff and others have written about their role-playing game characters. Which reminds me, I do have one that I need to put up that is entrance questions from a recent D&D stream. And now it is time to look at the credits and say what we've got coming up. If I remember which button the credits is, it's that one. Here are the credits. Tomorrow night, over on the not the Angel Games Player channel, on my channel, we're going to be doing Rime of the Frost Maiden. I think. Yeah, that's tomorrow. That's what tomorrow is. Gosh, I know what I'm doing. I'm prepped for D&D things. Over on that channel, over on this channel, we're doing that thing tomorrow night. The group are avenging the Speaker of Goodmead. On Monday night on the Angel Games Player channel, Angel is playing some Genshin Impact.
Yes, and hopefully the wind will be down enough that I can actually play it.
Fingers crossed. But also on Monday night, I will be playing the end of The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, where hopefully I'll work out who murdered Sonic the Hedgehog. On Tuesday night, myself and Michael and probably others will be playing Monster Road Trip, where hopefully we will survive a road trip together, rather than last time where we ended up wandering in the wilderness forever. Ben, are you streaming Sky on Wednesday?
I won't be this Wednesday, and no, I'll be instead aiming to do that on Thursday.
So Thursday, over on Ben the Quest Givers channel, you'll find Sky, and on Angel Games Player, you'll find Genshin Impact. And then this Friday on FBF, you'll find Masks of Nyala Thotep, where Jeff will be Jeff will be playing the second episode, or continuing the Masks of Nyala Thotep. I'd give more of a description of what's happening, but I don't know. So tune in to find out. And now it is time for us to do a raid. And by that I mean it is time for us to pause long enough and improv long enough for me to press the raid button and work out who we're raiding.
Angel, can you do your best version of Wild Wild West by Will Smith?
Right now?
Does
Yeah.
Does anyone have anybody that is live at the moment they would like us to raid into?
Would we like to see some art?
Yeah.
Okay, then in which case, the nice lady over there, all one word.
The nice lady over there is doing some art. So go give that nice lady over there some love, and we'll see you guys again real soon. For now, so long. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.